In the era of Mark Twain, St. Louis was the gateway to the Wild West.
Today, this arch stands at the crossroads of the Mississippi River. Upstream is a national treasure. Downstream is a dead zone.
Since Huck Finn took his journey down the Mississippi, many people have lost their connection with the river. Too often, we don't even know where our food comes from, who grows it, and how what we put down the drain flows into our rivers, poisoning the very water we drink. Few Americans realize that they are living within the great basin that is the Mississippi watershed.
It drains 41% of the lower 48 states of the United States, and it's something that it's hard to get your hand on because it is so large. It's industrial areas, it's agricultural areas. The northern portions are woodlands, the southern portions are cypress forests. It is everything out there. It's America.
18 million people drink from this river. 70 cities take life from it. It serves as a liquid highway for barges transporting goods and services up and down the river.
Rivers are the cradles of civilization, and unfortunately, as a result of that, we've been altering them throughout the whole history of human evolution and human civilization. And we've already kind of hit them with the sledgehammer of our civilization, and now we've got to figure out how the pieces fit together now that they've been dramatically changed by us.
We've lost some of our natural ecosystems, we've lost connection to the floodplain, and we've also changed the way the river flows. And so it does cause problems as it gets down to the bottom. At the end, it becomes a sewer pipe at times.
The Mississippi made this soil some of the richest on Earth, giving life to America's agricultural wealth. Steve Black is a fifth-generation farmer whose ancestors settled this land nearly 200 years ago when it was still a wild frontier.
Back when I was growing up, most all of the farms had what we call general livestock farms. They had hogs and cattle and chickens and other types of livestock, and they had a diversity of crops. They'd have corn and beans and wheat and hay and other crops that they grew themselves. And a lot of that's changed today. The livestock are now more in confined facilities. The grains have gone to more corn and soybeans in this particular area because those are the most profitable crops that you can grow.
Farming in the Midwest has become synonymous with large-scale agribusinesses monocropping corn and soybeans. But a new breed of small-scale sustainable farmers are returning to the very practices that Steve Black's ancestors used for centuries.
Well, I grew up on a conventional cash crop farm, just corn and soybeans, and for me, I kind of saw my dad struggling with that type of farming his whole life, not really. I don't know how much he enjoyed it, and I wanted to grow something that I could, feed our family with. The fact that we don't use any chemicals, any herbicides or pesticides, those sorts of things aren't ending up in the watershed. So trying to be mindful that water is a precious resource.
The solutions do not lie exclusively in small farms. Steve Black is leading the way in implementing eco-solutions for industrial-scale agriculture.
I don't think there's a thing that I'm doing on this farm from a nutrient management standpoint to the water control management to the no-till to any of these practices that don't make economic sense. If we use the technology that's available to us, we can still have both. We can have a good farming operation and we can protect the environment. No matter where you live, you're in somebody's watershed. And whatever leaves your property goes downstream to someone else and eventually clear on down the Mississippi.
We have a notion about what it means to be an environmentalist, but as we've witnessed, a green awakening is sweeping the Midwest, the country, and the world. We are waking up to the reality that we are all environmentalists because the lives of each and every one of us depend on the survival of our water systems, our rivers, and our oceans.
Well, I think I'm doing what needs to be done in the best scientific context from right here. But I can only address this one small area. The more and more of us that would do that, I think the issues farther downstream are going to get better. Even though that watershed gets bigger and bigger, everybody is contributing to that, and everybody has some good things they can do to help.
This is a turning point for Americans who are inextricably bound together by this river. Every decision they make as individuals and as a community will determine the fate of this river.